Well, for more on the ties between China and Finland, I'm joined live from Chapel Hill, North Carolina by Klaus Larres. He's a professor of history and international affairs at the University of North Carolina. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
So what are the main expectations for this visit from both countries' perspectives?
Yeah, the visit is really all about culture. It's all about business. The Finnish president is not the head of government. He is more like a ceremonial president, but still in his delegation there are over 100 business people, and that indicates that the visit is really regarded as quite important. And as your report indicated, economic links between Finland and China are very intensive, have intensified in the recent past. And Finland, for Finland, China is its fourth largest trading partner worldwide. That is quite significant. And of course, there's room for improvement. Culturally, there is the winter sports here, which has been announced by both Xi Jinping and the Finnish president. And Finland, of course, is very experienced regarding winter sports, while in Beijing, the 2022 Winter Olympics will take place. So there is a lot of room for cooperation and for an exchange of experience. And both subject areas, business and culture, will be fully explored, I would assume.
So on the business side, what would you say have been some of the key markers of this bilateral trade relationship over the years?
Yeah, it really is innovative technology, know-how technology. It is electronics, it is optical equipment. It is really the modern technologies which Finland has increasingly specialized in. Traditionally, there's timber and wood and also paper material which Finland has exported, and that also continues to be important. But increasingly, it is really high-tech goods which Finland wants to export and which China is highly interested in. But of course, the relationship goes beyond mere business relations. It is also strategic relationships regarding, for example, the EU, where Finland is an important partner, and also regarding the polar world, where Finland is, of course, very close to the polar circle.
And to that point, then, how do you see Finland's role as a strategic partner when it comes to being a gateway to better European relations, especially when it comes to the Belt and Road Initiative?
Yeah, Finland has subscribed to the Belt and Road Initiative. It is very positive about the Belt and Road Initiative. It is developing railway links between Finland and China, which will cut down the travel of goods to 8 to 12 days, much shorter than if you use the sea lanes. And so Finland is really fully in support of the Belt and Road Initiative. As you know, this does not apply to all European countries, particularly some of the larger European countries continue to be skeptical about the Belt and Road Initiative. Their main criticism is a lack of transparency, a lack of financial transparency, and similar things. And here, of course, Finland could act as a broker and as a mediator. In the second half of this year, Finland will have the EU presidency, the presidency of the EU Council, and that can be important. It depends a little bit. Not all countries have a successful presidency. Not all countries kind of fill that role really very well. But Finland, of course, has the potential to do so.
Now, Klaus, I do want to mention the Polar Silk Road, which would involve Arctic shipping routes that have opened up as a result of global warming.
Yes.
What do we know about how those plans are developing and the potential challenges that poses?
Well, it's a Northern Sea route, and the Northern Sea route has increasingly become ice-free. Only recently, I think it was a Russian ship went through the Northern Sea route without an icebreaker. That was the first. And if that continues to happen, then, of course, it is much shorter to take the Northern Sea road, particularly for China, than, let's say, to go via the Suez Canal. That will cut down on travel times by 30 to 40%. And Finland is, of course, a very close country to that area of the world. So increasing cooperation with Finland, as of course with Russia and the other Scandinavian countries, has huge advantages for countries such as China, but of course naturally also other countries. So I think there's a lot of potential, and some people have argued there is the increasing competition for the polar world, for the Polar Silk Road, that we are seeing strategic competition and rivalry. And of course, that will be partially the case, but there's also room for cooperation and commercial cooperation. So whether it will be a heated battle, a rivalry, which will be very tense and full of friction, or whether it will be a more cooperative commercial relationship, that remains to be seen. But certainly China would like to intensify its relations with Finland in order to achieve better relations and be able to exploit that new Northern Sea route.
All right, well, thank you so much for your insights. Klaus Larres there, Professor of History and International Affairs at the University of North Carolina.